I'm excited to show you today's project because it's with our new spring catalog. This is what the cover looks like. If you are on my mailing list, you should have received one in the mail from me. If you do not have a demonstrator and would like to receive one, just contact me and I'll be happy to send one out. I've prepared a lot of cards, and so there's lots of videos coming up. Today's video is with this new stamp set called Secret Garden, and there's matching framelits, which I have here. They come in a nice plastic case like this. I'm just going to go ahead and grab the one we're going to use. And you also need to pay attention in this catalog, just like our holiday. You can purchase the Secret Garden stamp set separately from the framelits, but there's this deal down here where you save 15% if you purchase the bundle. I'm also going to use this pad, a designer series paper stack called Print Poetry. I'm going to use a couple of the patterns out of there for this card also. So to get started, this is a half sheet of primrose petals, which I will line up the corners and fold in half. And then the pieces that I'm going to cut out and the stamping will be on this piece of Very Vanilla, which is 5 inches by 3 3/4 of an inch. And I'm going to go ahead and stamp that first. This is the Happy Birthday from Perfectly Penned, and I'm using our black StazOn ink. So I'll just ink this up. Oops, and then stamp just down in this general area. And then I went ahead and used one of the framelits ahead of time and cut out a couple of the leaves here, and hopefully you can see the pattern on that designer paper. So I didn't stamp anything, I just went ahead and cut that out. So I will use my adhesive and just put some on the back of the petals, oops, and stick that down over here, and then do the other one, same thing, just get a little adhesive on there and put that one over here. Now I went ahead and stamped this image 2 times, hopefully you can see that, with the black StazOn ink on the patterned paper. And I went ahead and cut out of the second one, cut out the smaller flower. Hopefully you can see that there's kind of 3 flowers here, the biggest one, and then this size, and then a tiny one in the center. So I cut this one out just with my scissors from the second one. And now I'm going to pull over my Big Shot and use the framelit on here. So I'm going to leave one cutting pad on the bottom, set the stamped image on here, line up my framelit. Let's see here. This one is the groove. And then put the cutting pad over top and just crank it through. So that will cut out the biggest flower for me. So if you haven't used framelits before, it just pops it out similar to a punch. There's a flat edge, and then the raised edge is what goes down to actually do the cutting. So what I'm going to do is take my scissor again, and this time I'm just going to cut out the very inside tiny little flower. And I'm going to go kind of quickly just so you don't have to watch me cut for too long. And then what I'll do is have these 3 separate flowers on here. So I'll use my adhesive, stick this down, and then I'll put my first flower on just with regular adhesive and stick that right over the center. And then I'll use a Stampin' Dimensional behind this flower, so that's raised up a little. And then I'm going to use one of the edges on the dimensional sheet here and put that on this tiny little center. And then the last thing I'm going to do is add a pearl, one of the largest pearls from the Basic Pearls pack, right on the center. So I'll show you this one. What's neat about it is if you can see the layers, the depth of the flower on there. So the actually only stamping is the flower on the designer paper. These were just straight with designer paper. I didn't do any stamping at all. And then my Happy Birthday. So it's a fun, quick, and easy card. Thanks for watching my video. For daily creative inspiration, visit my blog or find me on Facebook at Jody Reinert Stamps.